Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, what I'm going to show you guys how to do is how to set up a mini DWC system. Now, there might be a couple reasons why you want to set up a mini DWC system. You might not have the space for a 6-quart container. You might not have the space for a 20-gallon big tub. And so space could be an issue. Another thing that could be an issue is maybe you had planned for multiple different plants. However, some of those plants maybe didn't survive. Take my example. So right here we have a couple onions. Okay, so I had this 6-quart container right here. All right, this was my mini D.W.C system. This system sat on top of inside the greenhouse, and my other onions did not survive. These are the only onions out of this whole container that survived, and you can see these are growing pretty nice. However, everything else died. It just wilted. It died. I don't know why. I don't know if it was a light issue. Another reason you might want to run a smaller DWC system is you have a small pump. Okay, so this is a 1 airline pump. I think this is only 30 gallons per hour. The air stone in this pump is not very big. I'm going to show you this here in a second as soon as I get this undone. This is the air stone. So you can see, I mean, it's not very strong. It doesn't put out that many bubbles. Okay, so instead of wasting all of this space in the greenhouse, what we could do is simply we could just transfer this to a mason jar and we can run it like that. So that's what we're going to be doing in today's video. I'm just going to be transferring the living onions that I do have inside this mason jar, and the mason jar it'll be fine. And then I can use this 6-quart tub. Maybe I can just use it as a cracky setup or whatever I decide later. Okay, now the only thing I've done with this mason jar right here is I went ahead, I filled it up with RO water. I did already do the nutrients. I did that off camera. The ppm was around 400 or something. Okay, and I just added I think a milliliter of CalMag and out of one of my syringes. You guys have seen me do nutrients here on the channel 6 or 7 times already, so I did the same exact steps that I do pretty much every time. Okay, but in this video we're really just going to be focused on how to set something like this up. Super simple, super easy. Okay, and then for inputs, I did put great white in this container. That's why it's a little bit foggy. I don't know if you can kind of tell by the light, but yeah, I put some great white in here. So let me take this out. Actually, I'm going to need it, I think. So this might be a little bit easier if your plant is not already inside of a net cup. Okay, so if you're just starting out, like as a seedling or something like this, and you want to mimic this type of setup, probably be a little bit easier, but I'm not taking this out. Okay, we're just kind of finagle it in there. But pretty much what we're going to do is these net cups have these like little slits in them. Okay, and we're just going to take our tube and we're going to try to get them in one of those slits. Like I said, it might be kind of a pain in the butt here, but I'm pretty sure we can do it. I've done this before. If you guys have seen my cucumber plant, that's exactly how I did it. Okay, so I think I'm getting it. I might have to make a small cut here. I'm gonna get some scissors. We're gonna make a small cut to make this a little bit simpler without killing the. I don't want to kill the onions. So I'm just going to make a small slit. Okay, we just kind of cut it right here on the side there. Okay, so I just made a small cut right there. Okay, super easy. We're going to take our holes, our tubing, All right, and we're just gonna feed the little line through so you can see how nice and easy that is. All right, that's all we're doing. We're just gonna feed our line through. All right, making sure our plant's okay. And then what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take our air stone right here, our mini air stone. We're gonna attach it. All right, and we're just kind of gonna drop it in. Okay, whole system should look something like this. So now you just have a mason jar, you have a net cup, you have a little airline tubing. Okay, that's it. And now if we plug it in, you can see that this thing performs really, really well. And you know, with these smaller air stones, this might actually be a better method, because what I noticed with that smaller air stone, even when it was inside here, it did not perform very well. No, it could be because there's some algae growth inside of this water right here. You can see how green some of this water is. Okay, that's algae. I couldn't do anything about it. That's why we always use a sock on these. But I think with a smaller air stone and a smaller air pump, I do honestly think this is probably a better method in a way. The only thing that sucks about using something like this is you can't do multiple plants. But if you're only trying to keep one thing alive, then it should be all right. And then you can hear the vibration right now. That's because it's trying to hit this counter. But once I get the pump set back up where I had it, it'll do just fine. But yeah, I think that's what we're gonna rock with. I'm gonna turn this pump off. Okay. We gotta put the sock on, and then we just gotta do a label here. Put this sock on. These little ankle socks, I like them, but man, they're kind of a pain in the butt to put on these big mason jars. Okay. Boom. Mini D.W.C system. Easy, right? Super easy. Alright, that's how we do it. Then we just put our little label. Today is the 23rd of February. Alright, you guys know how I do my labels. So we'll write, that's a green onion. Green onion. 223, 26. And then I always write what kind of input I stuck in there. And for this method, I use some great white. Okay, so we just put it somewhere that, hey, I use great white. Okay, super easy to make a little cheap label. Alright, this is how I do mine. It's pretty easy. I just write the plant, what input we put in, and the date. And then sometimes I'll write when I started the seed, but that's only if I can remember when I actually started the seed, or if I wrote it down. Okay, so that is it, guys. I mean, that's as simple as it's kind of set up. I could show you guys. I want to thank each and every one of you for subscribing to the channel here recently. If you guys have any questions, comments, suggestions, anything, feel free to always hit me up. I'll answer y'all's questions, no problem. And if you guys have, if you guys want to make a DWC system, like I said, but you don't want to go through the hassle of making a big giant tub, give us a chance. Super easy to do, and it's the same thing. Okay, it's just a smaller scale. All right. So until next time, show me your garden. Bye, guys. Peace.